I want to welcome you all back to another episode of the Brown Ballers podcast. I'm actually here on a very impromptu episode. Got my guy Sukhmail Mathon in the building. We've been chopping up the last little bit because we're kind of creating some content and some videos for him. It's been a lot of fun. And I hit him up. I was like, "Yo, like, you down to just chop it up on the pod and do a quick update? Because you're literally living so many brown kids' dreams right now. Playing pro over there in Europe." So, without further ado, Suk, welcome to the pod, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Grinding here in Czech Republic. Same old grind, different area, but same goals. Trying to win a championship. But I'm good.
Yes,
How are
sir.
you doing?
Can't complain, man. It's been fun following, your journey and just keeping up with you, everything you're doing out there. But I guess before we get too far, for those who don't know, so can you just give yourself a quick introduction?
Hi, I'm Sukhmail Mathon. Yeah, I went to school in Boston University, Division One mid-major school. I was the player of the year there last year. Um, and I'm currently a professional basketball player in Europe. Playing in the Czech Republic as a rookie. And so that's me.
That's perfect, bro. Now look, before we get into anything else, like I said, this can be a quick episode, just giving everyone an update on where you're at right now. For those who don't know, Sook also played for us on our first ever India Rising team at TBT this year. Last year. But I got a special question, bro, from Shub. I'm sure you remember Shub. She wanted me to
Sure.
specifically ask you, how is Ghost doing?
Man, Ghost is the best. He's spoiled, man. He's been treated like he's a third child in my family. But yeah, he's adorable. It was his birthday this past week, or
They
yeah,
okay?
just turned one. But I miss him every day. So that's a long answer for sure.
How's it been? So obviously, for those who don't know, who didn't understand that Ghost is Sook's dog. How's it been, bro? Because obviously you kind of went out to Europe by yourself, right? And
Hmm.
left family and friends behind, but also left your new dog behind. Is it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
was that like one of the toughest things to do? Because obviously it would have been nice maybe having the dog, maybe it would have been too much. But how'd you feel when you left all of that behind?
Honestly, like being away from home, like, it's always like, a bit like lonely, but I'm kind of used to it. Just like growing up, I went to a prep school, and that was what I was like 7 hours from home, growing up and going to school in Boston. Boston's like my second home, but I was born in Queens and raised in Pennsylvania. So, I've always been far from home, but Europe is definitely a different atmosphere. Like the culture is way different than America. Like, so you're maybe a little more homesick, and like you have less time to visit like you do in the States. Because Europe, it's a whole 10-hour flight that you have to
It's
make
crazy.
if you want to see your family. So you leave
Even
the good
the
things, but
yeah.
yeah, you got what you got to do.
Yeah, it's the flights, the time difference is a lot, but like I said, you're young, you're grinding it. And how old are you still right now?
I'm 24 years old, you know, young
Man,
adult.
man, as a young adult out there in the streets, you kind of living that like still kind of living that college life in a sense where you're kind of out on your own, living by yourself, doing your thing, um, but in a new world, right? So
Yeah.
how's it been out there in Europe so far?
So, like right now, I'm in Ostrava. Ostrava is the third largest city in Czech Republic, and the people here speak Czechia, and like people know English, but like they'll be a little shy to speak it. Especially like a tall guy like me. If you approaching me, you're gonna be a little shy because I'm a foreign dude whose English is absolutely perfect. So they're a little shy to speak, but they know it, but they're just a little afraid to make mistakes when you're learning a new language. So I mean, everyone's been nice. I have a nice apartment. I'm currently here, in my bedroom, getting ready. Like having a nice conversation with my boy Nav, who I haven't seen forever, him in Gotham. But yeah, man,
Appreciate
I'm
that.
enjoying it. And basically, like, the gym is right next door. I live like a couple blocks from a really big mall. Like, so it's been comfortable. Like, it's
Okay.
convenient, and it's like perfect for me to continue growing as a player and just working on myself. So,
Are you? I think you said Czechia. Are you learning Czechia?
I mean, I know a little bit, but hey, I ain't learning this language. It's too hard.
You're learning enough lingo to get you by, right? Some of the
Yeah,
terminologies, yeah.
enough lingo, the funny phrases my teammates teach me, and the bad phrases my teammates teach me. But like, also, if I didn't have my phone, I don't know how I would navigate through Europe. Like this is totally different culture. So thank God for modern technology.
Straight up, bro. Cell phones are a game changer, right? Like everything, translation, GPS. I can't imagine all the stuff you're doing.
But for real though.
Is there like a saying or like something in Czechia that you like say every day, or you chop it up with the boys and you say this?
Oh, I say "Dobrý den." It
Dobry
means
den.
like good day.
Okay,
Ciao.
okay, that's legit.
Ciao is like hi, bye. Like so you can use it however you want. I always hear people say ciao, ciao.
Okay, okay, I like it. I like it. Um, how's the how's the data? So obviously, growing up, like I said, so many of us had hoop dreams, especially being brown. So like for me, something I always wondered is, and obviously I've got to see that from certain people throughout the years, but like, how is the day to day for you transitioning from D1 to pro? Like, what's the biggest differences?
Oh, so like the game of basketball in Europe is completely different than the game in college basketball. So obviously, like in the U.S., there's levels to everything. Like this is I'm learning as I'm going, and obviously, like my knowledge is more about the states. And now as a rookie, I got to learn a lot about Europe. So in America, there's levels. Obviously, there's the highest level of Division One. D2 schools, Canada schools, D3 schools, and as so on. And that's similar to how it is in Europe. So there's like levels to each country. Like they have their separate leagues. Obviously there's some leagues that have two divisions. That the lower division is better than some of the countries with the highest league. It's so different because it just goes on how you recruit, how your team's history is, how much money the program has, and so yeah, like it's a big transition, and just like knowing all that stuff, knowing what your goals are and what you want to do is a big adjustment. So like, obviously, like, there hasn't been another Punjabi hooper in
Exactly.
Czech Republic. So like it's just more so like learning and teaching the young ones as we go. So like when people hit me up for advice, like, I'm always there to like help them out, because this is quite a different type of journey. But it is my dream. So, I'm having fun with it, keeping a smile every day, positive energy, Mamba mentality.
Yes,
And
sir. I love that, bro. Each one teach one. That's huge for you, especially someone like you in your position. And I always love the TikToks you're posting because you're always like, you're fully in on like the Punjabi hooper, which I think is it's important. It's a key to who you are, and it's
mm,
really showing people like you can also own that. Because I know sometimes you can shy away from it, but like you're fully owning it, which I love.
appreciate that, bro. As always. My
What's like what's like the day to day? So not every single day, but like like what's a normal day for you from maybe like from a practice perspective, then maybe on a game day, like how does it change?
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. It's like so like depending on the day, like so some days like, like usually you have practice twice a day from like 10 to 12 to like and 5 and 7. So like it just depends on when you get there. So like I like to work, like I'm a guy that like I get there early, I'm one of the last, I'm probably the last to leave. And so like it can consume your whole day, but you still have good chunks of time to recover. So like then you get to that second practice, and that's more of like live stuff compared to like weights and like shooting
Mhm.
in the morning. So like it's more like competitive, making you think outside the box. Like Euro practices compared to Division 1 practices, there's like a different culture. Like there's more physicality in Europe compared to basketball in America. So like obviously you hear NBA players that say that all the time. Giannis, Luca. They were
Exactly.
like
Yep.
games harder to score in Europe because it's more physical. So just like just little stuff like that, that like the professional terminology compared to college terminology, shot clock difference, and
Yep.
everything. So you just gotta. It's a big adjustment. So like that's why as a rookie you want to be putting yourself in a situation where you're gonna grow and try to get to a better league. Like because is you don't just go from going from America to one of the best leagues in Europe. So that's where I'm at, and that's day to day stuff. Game days will have like shoot around in the morning, depending on the day. Sometimes there's other games going on, and then game, post game interview, fan section, sign autographs. Uh, but no, it's been like quite a journey too. Like it's like a whole different story. You turn a chapter. I'm in Ostrava now, and we've made history here. Like teams like this team isn't prominently known to be a dominant team in this league. Like they haven't beaten Nymburk, Opava, like all the top teams in Czech Republic. And now this year, after like about 10 years, our team is doing that, and we're making playoffs,
Huge.
which like hasn't been done in forever. So I'm just excited, man. I want to just keep it rolling, Nav. Got my
Absolutely.
boys in my corner. I'm gonna keep it going,
For real, bro.
and yeah,
No, that's exciting, man. It's also cool because, like you said, they're not doing stuff that they always do. So, like you said, it's been a 10-year drought. The fact that you can be a participant in that and a factor in
hmm
these things happening and changing the basketball culture out there, that's huge for you, especially just being, like I said, young and being 24 in this new world, right?
yeah,
Um, just to keep building on this kind of stuff, I'm sure again, it's a huge change from D1 to going pro. If you could pick one thing, bro, one thing that you've learned, that's a big difference from D1 to pro. What's like that one thing that you learned? It's like I'm taking this with me the rest of my pro career. It's a thought provoking question.
that's definitely a thought provoking question
Yeah,
because there's
bro.
so many things that I'm just
There's
like
so
I
many
can't never.
things, right?
Yeah, so let me see. I would say probably a growth mentality. Like honestly, I'd say that's pretty much similar to how I was in college. But like coming to Europe, you have more time to work on yourself. In college, you got school, you got like all these side stuff, volunteering, stuff you got to do as a student, and just for you to get your degree and also play the game that you love. So you don't do those things in Europe, so you have more time to focus, more time to get better, more time to work on your body, your recovery, and like all the other stuff that is ultimately going to help you as a player. So it's just like me saying growth mindset is just like it just embodies who I am as what I've carried from college to what I want to continue to carry for the rest of my career. Because it's like you don't just get better overnight. Like Kobe struggled early, then he
Yep.
became who he is, one of the greats. RIP my.
Straight up,
but
bro. But and I love that you said growth mindset because that's something I believe in. And I tell people all about. It's like you have to have that mindset because otherwise you're just gonna be stuck, right? And you have to want to be able to put yourself outside your comfort zone, grow, go through those battles, the ups and downs to get where you want to be, right? Because
Mhm,
like you said, the thing people don't understand is like being a basketball player pro. There's only so many years you can play. You know what I
exactly.
mean? So you got to take advantage. Next 10 years are gonna be so important for you to get where you want to be. So like you're happy. Um, you also just kind of mentioned recovery a little bit there. Like, what do you do for recovery? Because I know that's something that, like a lot of people talk about. Like, do you guys have stuff out there where it's like saunas, hot tubs, ice bath, massage, or like,
Yeah.
or what do you do?
Oh, in Europe, like as a professional team, like they have a trainer, a guy, a masseuse that like say like my back is tight, you can like,
Yep.
get the knock out and stuff like that. There's taping obviously for there we have a sauna and a jacuzzi in our gym, for
Nice.
recovery after games. There's I ice bath like every single day. Every day after practice, just hop right into the ice bath,
Religious. Yep.
quick 5 minutes, it never hurt nobody. So that's something. I stretch a lot. Like I've worked on like recovery and like basketball are definitely co in hand. Like I've worked on my body. Like I used to be this scrawny little not well tall. I was always tall, but scrawny and little brown boy, and I looked uncoordinated that didn't even know how to dribble a basketball. That was me growing up. And it's like I couldn't even like, touch my toes, like my flexibility was terrible. There was just so much things that I had to teach myself along the way. So like recovery was definitely one of them. Getting more flexible, getting out of your comfort zone, and that helps you. That helps you in games. Like that's preventing injuries. God forbid. Uh,
Absolutely.
at Boston, I played every single game. I was the first Terrier to ever play a certain amount of games. So
That's Iron
I
Man status, bro. That's how you know you're taking care of your body.
didn't miss a single game. No flu. No, let me knock on that wood. Hold up.
Not gonna, yeah. We're not gonna.
on that wood. Hopefully can keep that going. But,
No, straight up, bro. It's like that's so important, right? The strength training, taking care of your body. Um, Also just adding to this recovery part, like what about food? I'm always just curious what you guys are eating or even just like yourself, like what's like the main part of the diet for you? And is it like a chef taking care of it or you gotta take care of your own meals? Are you cooking?
uh, well, it depends. So like obviously like pregame meals or like postgame meals are covered by the club. Day
Okay.
to day, you spend a lot of time with yourself. So like you can chef it up, or you can order that Uber Eats or here they call it Dom Idlo. Get a nice poke bowl, get something
Okay,
something
okay.
good. But day to day, you definitely have to learn how to cook and cook for yourself because it's not
You
like college where you can just swipe in and just like get a meal, get another
I feel you,
meal,
it's different.
whatever you want. It's not the same, but that's one of the differences coming into Europe for
You be
sure.
cooking any like Punjabi dishes out there or any like mom
And I've been
specialty
that
dishes?
fire butter chicken. Man, I can't live without that. But I also go to
Yo,
there's always a couple of Indian restaurants
there
somewhere.
has
Like
to
so
be.
I always find them. They're always just like, but then they'd be like, yo, this man really know his Punjabi or like his Hindi or whatever. I'll be like, yeah, I'm brown. What you mean?
Yeah, what you mean, bro? I'm out here. They gotta sponsor you, bro. You gotta get at least one Indian restaurant to sponsor you.
Hey man, in due time, due time. The amount of butter chicken I like and love. But
I love that you love butter chicken. That's my favorite dish. People will judge us, but that's fine. Um, from I got another thing. So I'm sure like it's only been a short time. So you haven't been playing pro for like 5, 10 years. Still a very short time, but I'm sure the transition from again D1 to pro, I can only imagine, bro, that you're getting better, right? And I know because I'm watching the games, but just for the viewers watching and listening, what are two things that you've drastically improved, from D1 to now where you are in your pro career?
yeah, so like two things definitely. One, that just like learning that more of that pro lifestyle about like when to foul appropriately. You get like uh 5 fouls each quarter before they get to shoot two
Mhm.
free throws. That's different than how it is in the States. Like little stuff like that, just like how to be more physical in the post. Like, I think I've grown as a defender. I can guard like 1 through 5, 1 through 5, like switch onto a
That's
guard.
huge.
That's big, that's huge, and like that's what the NBA is looking for. And I still have aspirations to play. So like I know I just want to keep getting better. That's one of the things I learned. Another thing would be let's see. I thought I had something. I had something for a second.
What about like stuff like so? I'll throw you two lobs and see what you get here. Like, how's the finishing? Are you every day working on your finishing around the rim, left hand, right hand, different finishes, and also like what about the outside shooting? Because obviously you know that's a big thing for you going to that next level. Is like that stretch.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I'm a more of a consistent 3-point shooter now. Like I'm shooting above 50% from three, which is really good.
Huge.
And that's thing I didn't get to do in college. Like, like when you're going to Division 1 basketball, you're at the highest level. So you're just like, you don't make the choices of what you want to do
Mhm.
to continue to get better. You got to listen to the coach. Like if he says, oh, you ain't shooting threes, you ain't shooting threes, so you going to sit on that bench. You're going to be at the end of the bench. You trying to get that burn playing time.
Yeah.
And he says. So like, I still continue to work like outside of practice, like, to continue to get to like fine tune my skills. Like, cause I know eventually I'm gonna need to know how to shoot the three. Like I can shoot, like it's just about getting the opportunity. So now I've with this team, like that was one of the big reasons I came here was they were allowing me to do what I needed to do. So like as to grow as a player, I needed to shoot more threes. So that's something I've added into my game, and I think that's going to help tremendously. Continue reaching my goals. And what else?
Sick, sick.
And the finishing around the rim is I've always been pretty a physical, aggressive player in the low post. So that's been something that's been an easy transition. And but like obviously more physical, but I ain't afraid of no contact. So that's been going
Yeah,
well.
bro. It's funny you say that because I remember this. I remember when we were watching the TBT game when we were playing, and that's when I was really like, "Damn, this dude like he be hitting people." Like like you were taking like contact, and I was like, "Oh." Like, because we never really seen anyone play a game before, right?
Mhm.
Like, that was technically like our first game. We had a couple warm ups, but that didn't count. So to see you like bruising with those big dudes, I was like, okay, like he's like a different type of big because like a lot of people don't do that, right? And those things, coaches notice that kind of stuff. Would you know?
Yeah. No, it's like it's a totally different animal. Like what you how like that's what I got from like playing at the Division 1 level. You got to compete every day. So like you come in,
Yeah,
you can't be afraid of no contact. You got to be willing to sacrifice your body for the good of the team. And that's like I'm like the type of guy that wants to be like the energized player. That whether I'm a blocking a shot, getting a offensive rebound, like like just like helping whatever the team needs to win. And it's been going well. I remember even in the game at the TBT. I remember I was watching the game. Obviously we lost, but we're gonna come back stronger next year.
yep.
But I was watching the game, and I remember hearing on the TV like the Syracuse bench was like, that one Indian dude, he's banging, he not passing, he not passing, and I was like, I started laughing. I was like, bro, that was because of my family and me were watching, and then we just started laughing.
That's really funny, dude. um, so correct me if I'm wrong. Playoffs are coming up, right?
Mhm.
Like how what's the vibe like with the team and everyone? Like you guys just excited because like I said, it's first time doing this, and I think like I said, 10 years for the team. You guys just amped up to go out there and get some dubs.
Oh, most definitely. Like, the our fans have been great. We've strung along more fans because now that this team is winning games, like we're building a culture here. And my teammates that we know we're like I think the best teams have the best like locker rooms, and like we get along so well.
Agreed.
Even with like Czech guys that don't know English as well, you still figure out ways to communicate where you're just like, "Hey, yo, what's good?" Like a little jokes, stuff like that, and we've been bonding well, playing well on the court. So we just want to string along as many wins as we can before playoff time. So that going into playoffs, you have the momentum of just like, it's
Exactly.
different. It's not playoffs in March Madness. One elimination, you're out. It's you play a game of seven against another top team. So it's similar to like how the NBA is. Like when you play game 1 through 7, is that's how it is in Europe. So if you win four, you're moving on.
It's exciting, bro. Things are coming. You watching March Madness right now? By chance, you staying up to date with the teams?
Yeah, I was watching for a while, but then I started watching more EuroLeague and just there's a lot more stuff I've watched now, so it's hard to
I,
keep up.
Something like that got me really excited when I knew you were gonna go play in Europe was like we talked about this a little bit earlier. It's just like you're now mixing American with European. So like when you come back, or maybe you stay there, you keep moving up these leagues. Not many players have that experience. Of mixing both games, both cultures. Because like you said, a lot of people don't understand the European game is different. The guys move different, they play different. Shot clock, there's some rules are different. So like you're getting a great overall pro experience as opposed to just staying in the States or going to a Canadian league. You know what I mean? So that's something I really think is going to really benefit you.
Yeah, most definitely. Like Europe is like, it's hard to get into Europe. So like just going in, just once you get there, it's like there's so many levels. You want to play at the highest level. You don't want to settle for and well, settle for what your goals are. So like that's my goals. And you learn a lot, but you also I want all the young players to know you also carry the culture you bring from your past experiences, like Boston University, prestigious school, like played Division 1 level. And we changed it, we turned the program around. I was there for 5 years. We got a championship, became a player of the year. And and that journey, there's a lot of ups and downs, and you learn from each one of those. You got to take that with you and carry it to the next team. It's like it's part of who you are. Like it's part of like your identity. Like say like my identity is like someone who uplifts guys, wants them to get in the gym, get better, and like that's what you bring to a team. Those are winning attributes. And if you can carry that, regardless of like how you're doing on the court, it's it's noticeable. Like your energy attracts energy. So that's a good thing to carry, and it's going to help you in your career too. So like just little stuff like that 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 you should remember growing up.
I love it, bro. I can see you like maturing before my eyes. Like even just
Yeah,
the way, even just the way you're speaking about stuff, bro. Like I feel like it's a lot different than last year. It's like, damn, this boy's growing up.
yeah, for real, man. Yo, New York City Takeover Part 2.
Hey
Yeah, hit
man,
that
dang,
boy.
bro, it's
Gary.
crazy. I was trying to get that back this year, but they're not doing it. But hopefully next year they're gonna run it back. So we'll see if we can all pull up there again next year. You know, depending on schedules. But
Hey,
India. Go ahead.
we're okay. We could just link up and do that thing we did last time. G. Oh, you weren't there, man. Where's Gotham at when you need him?
Oh, like,
Uh,
well, when you guys went out or something, right?
yeah, it was like me, Tesher, Kieran, Aryan,
Oh,
Gotham.
right,
But
right, right, right,
the TV,
right. After in
like
Syracuse.
tell it like more of like just like parting away, going out. It was nice. It's a good time.
I'm gonna be there this time, bro. Once they turn up. But speaking of India Rising, this summer, July, we're going back to TBT 2023. Got the
Hmm.
ball right here. You see India Rising representing. Like,
I
we're
know.
not.
I see. Oh, you always got the gear, the
You see
creative stuff. Yo, I know India Rising in great hands. Like I ain't
it?
well, all those ideas.
Appreciate
Really
it, bro.
good.
I
But
appreciate that respect. How you feeling? We don't need to give away too much. India Rising gonna be doing a bunch of tryouts. We're gonna do all kind of stuff, training camp, all that kind of good stuff. But question is, bro, you excited, man? You coming back out?
oh yeah, most definitely. Like I'm for we've built something together, and like
Yep.
I'm part of the family, and that's how families stay connected. But like I'm looking forward to seeing like the players, like obviously you have a lot of tryouts and stuff going on. So looking forward to see these young brown ballers coming from wherever, like whether it's
Exactly.
back or whatever, like hopefully like I could help them out along their journey and where they are in their career too. So like it's good to balance around. Like remember when we had the Cy or Surgeon, aka in the past he used to play D1. And we got a little bit of everything. So like
Yep.
just add more of those pieces. It's gonna build a nice family environment. But best believe we making some noise this summer though, for
We
sure,
making noise, bro. We're coming with some big changes we'll talk about later. It's
for
gonna be a
sure.
lot of fun. So I mean, you guys gotta make sure you tap in. But before we kind of end this off, quick little update here, and I appreciate you taking your time out your day for this, bro. You talk a lot throughout the podcast, a lot of words of advice, a lot of words of wisdom. And I asked you this when we did our interview at Extra Butter, and I'm gonna ask you again right now. To all the young brown ballers watching, wanting to follow in your footsteps and become a pro one day, what's that one piece of advice you got for them?
Man, Mamba mentality. I'm still sticking with that all the way through. So just like just know there's somebody gonna always be doubting you. You're gonna be up one day, they're still gonna be talking behind your back. You're gonna say like, oh, he's still not like that, blah blah blah. Just keep hooping, man. Like that's just outside noise. If anything, use that for yourself as like, motivation to push and go even further. Like, man, there's so many ups and downs in your career. So just don't. Yeah, you could be mad about not playing right now, but you could be the hardest working dude the next day
Hmm.
or that night. So keep hooping, man. Hit me up. Hit me up if y'all need some help or
There
get
you
dunked
go.
on real quick.
Oh, we trying to run the ones. Look, the ones or the fade is always available if you guys want to play him. So if you guys don't already, make sure you follow my boy. He's literally, like I said, going into playoffs, follow the team, and he's gonna be with us hopefully this summer. Doing some big things, man. So more content, more stuff on the way, more videos. I think with everyone, like obviously I enjoy making content with everyone, but like you're just so chill, bro, and you get it because like you're younger. So I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to like chopping it up more and like getting some drinks and just having fun when we
Yeah,
all see each other.
appreciate it. Always like we gotta. I'll be back in May. We'll link up then. Chop
Yep.
it up more. Like continue this going. Like So thank you for having me as always. So
All right, y'all. This has been another episode of the Brown Ballers podcast, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
ciao.